wonderful, fantastic, lurid, macabre. These are the stories of my life. Unlikely though they might seem, it must be understood that each has its roots in absolute truth. Some of these tales may amaze you. Some may shock you. Some might even horrify you. But whatever the case might be, each is guaranteed to entertain. So sit down to a handsome repast and remember to proceed with caution.
Hello and welcome to yet another snack and a story with yours truly. Forgive the noise that you happen to hear. That's my mother blending up a drink that she's making. But yes, it's another snack and a story. Another week, another story that I have to tell. So, I know I had promised last week that I would show myself eating Subway and such, and I didn't have Subway at that particular video. Instead, I had ate some Whoppers or Maltesers, or however you call them. But this week, as per request of Milkmers, I do have Subway. I've actually not had Subway in quite some time, so this might be very refreshing for me. And it is a foot long that I have, but I believe it's cut in half, I think. Or is it? Yeah, it is. Oh, that's unusual. For some reason, and this can be just because I haven't been to Subway in about, I don't know, 5 years at least. But for some reason, this comes in like a little paper bag. It didn't used to come that way. It actually used to be wrapped, the sandwich is wrapped in, paper wrapping and such. And I have no idea why that is, why it's not the case here, but oh well. So, the sandwich I have to eat today is a foot long. I might not eat this whole thing, but nonetheless, a foot long, what is this, a melt? Some another type of a melt. I don't quite know what this is, but I'll eat it for you. To go along with that, I have a bag of Miss Vicky's salt and vinegar crisps or potato chips, however you would like to call them. And to wash it all down, I have some lemonade right here. Very mild lemonade. So, this is for you, Milkmers. I hope that you enjoy this video. So without further ado, I suppose I shall take up my sandwich and get on with the story. Mmm. 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 This is actually quite good, quite savory and such. Whatever this is. I had my mother get it because she was out and about, so I have no idea what. Also very spicy too. So, this isn't so much of a story as it is really just a change in my lifestyle. As you know, it's nothing new for me to change up how I do things and such. You just have to look at my series, Why I Left, and you'll know that changed quite a bit in a very short amount of time. But also, not only do I change my personal habits, but I have also over the years changed my, I suppose, attire, in a sense, if you'd like to call it that. And so, for many years, I used to wear undershirts, tank tops, that sort of thing, like that. Because I used to not wear them when I was real little, when I was still in primary school, grade school, however you want to call it. Because, I just wore whatever, I suppose. But when you got into secondary school, for about maybe 4 or 5 years of it, they had you participate in this very frivolous course called gym class. Something that I think public schools around the world should entirely abolish, because really it is pointless. It wears one out. They are left entirely knackered by the end of the day, and it just makes them sweaty for no good reason. And also, there's an unnecessary change of clothes that takes place during this period, in which you have to change out of your regular dress into your gym clothes and such. And so that kind of struck me a bit and had me just a wee bit self-conscious about my own appearance. I'm going to have Mum order this for me more often. I don't know what the sandwich is, but it's pretty good. Actually, I think it might be the ham and cheese melt. So, still, very good. Now, this was about the time when I was just starting to grow my hair out. And suppose during this time, I had just gone through a very formative diet that basically had me eat a certain way for about 3 months, and then after that was up, I could basically eat whatever I want, because it basically changed my digestive system and kind of like my immune system or something or other, and had modified it to where I can eat basically anything with gluten in it. And because of this, I had taken to eating pizza every single Friday for about a good many years, for about maybe 3 or 4 years consistently. And I actually became very heavy from it. And I wasn't quite the fat lord yet. I was just a bit bigger than I usually am, especially back then. Now, I'm not a big man, nor am I a small one. Actually, I'm smaller than I used to be even 8 months ago, because I've just been losing weight like you wouldn't believe. I'm actually, as you know, I'm under 200 pounds. I don't even know how much I weigh. Haven't been on the scale in over a month, so... But anyhow, let's just say I did not want to not only offend people with the gruesome sight that they would see should I happen to be in the changing room, but also I wanted basically to keep an image. I was very vain and such, vainglorious back then, and, you know, I wanted to conceal my flesh. And so I basically took to wearing every single day from the time I was 11 up until I was 18. An undershirt, a tank top, however you want to call it. And no one would really comment on my appearance at all. They would just, you know, say whatever and such and just go on with their own changing and all that. But I still felt very much safe in my skin. It was almost like a second skin, if you will. I would wear these shirts no matter the time of day, whatever the occasion happened to be. I'd wear them in gym class, outside of gym class. I would wear them if it was exceedingly cold or just blisteringly hot. It didn't matter what the climatic conditions were. It's just that I just felt more confident, I guess, in myself, I suppose. And didn't really feel embarrassed at all about myself. And rightly so. Oh, 5% battery. I need to wrap this up here soon. But, when I was out of, when I finally got out of gym class, my second to last year of, no, second to last year of secondary school, I was very, very relieved because I had wanted to dress very formally and such. I would wear three-piece suits and all this, even a pocket watch and everything, and on occasion I'd wear, looking at it right now, in fact, why don't I go get it? On occasion I would wear this little number, my top hat, and to change in and out of that would just be a nightmare and such every single day. And so I just took to wearing very casual stuff, sort of like what you see me in right now. It's very modest, but still, it's not too dressy, and it doesn't really hinder anything at all. You can change in and out of it fairly easily, but at the same time, there's something that's left to be desired. And when I didn't have to change in and out of my clothes anymore, I took to wearing my three-piece suits and such, and even had a monocle to complement everything. But I still kept wearing the undershirts. I would just wear the undershirts consistently. It got to the point where when I was helping out the librarians the last few days of whichever school year it was, I don't quite remember which school year it was, and I just drooled all over myself. But I was in a suit, and we were basically taking... It was pardon me. We were basically taking in the textbooks that were being returned by all the students and such, and I was, running in and out of the place and everything, and making sure all the books were in their place, and I got very sweaty and such. And this was in a full suit, and I got very sweaty, and every now and then, every few minutes, I had to take off an article of clothing. I had to take off the coat, the waistcoat, the tie, and then eventually by the end of the day, I was just stripped to my undershirt, and I just kept wearing it. So you can see that no matter what the conditions or the circumstances might be, I would still wear these bloody things. But when I got out of school, back in 2018, I was still very much inclined to wear them, just out of force of habit. And so I just continued to wear them under whatever it is I happen to be wearing. Until one day, my mother said, "You really ought to stop wearing those. No one is going to see you. You're not going to run into anyone that you know. You're no longer in school, and you'd be much cooler if you, temperature-wise, if you don't wear them. So you should probably stop." And I basically scoffed at the idea at first, and really just kept wearing them for a little while afterwards. Until finally, this may have even been leading up to the day I founded my YouTube channel. I had just decided, no, I didn't decide. It's just that there was not a tidy undershirt at my disposal, so I just decided not to wear one on one occasion, and then I decided not to wear one this following day, and then the following day, and then the day after that, and then the day after that. And then I said to myself, I could do without this. And so every day since then, except for when I actually want to wear the things, just if it happens to be hot and that's the only thing I'm wearing, I have been undershirt free for about 3 years. And I have felt very comfortable in my skin ever since. So, that's the story. I know this wasn't a typical type of a story. It wasn't a narrative. It was more or less sort of like a character study or description of myself. To be honest, I'm actually running out of stories to tell. I won't probably do too many more of these for a little bit because I need to collect more stories. But I hope you enjoyed this snack and story. Tune in next week to see what else I might be eating and what other story I might be telling you. I hope, Milk Mers, that this was to your satisfaction. I did, in fact, eat Subway. I will continue to eat Subway here. I hope you all have a good morning, midday, afternoon, evening, midnight, whenever you happen to see this, and we will see you next time. Cheers.